Sawadee krap. Hello and welcome to a Singaporean in Chiang Mai. Recently, Thailand had experienced one of its worst flooding for decades in Chiang Rai, Tak, Sukhothai, and a number of other provinces. 2 weeks ago, it finally hit Chiang Mai. Water from the bursting dams from upstream were released, which resulted in the Ping River overflowing its banks. A number of friends asked if we are alright. Thank goodness, most of Singaporeans are staying in the brown area. We are on higher grounds and away from the Ping River. Unfortunately, some staying downtown were caught by this unexpected high level of flood. My friend was staying near Chinatown in the area marked number 2 and had to go through chest high water. Area 1 was flooded first, followed by 2, 3, and all the way to 7. Without further ado, let's hear firsthand from this couple what they went through getting out of the flood.
Okay, when the flood first started, we walked out of our condo down to the corner street, and the water was ankle deep, and we were laughing and giggling and saying, "Hey, this is an experience. This is fun." The next morning, the water had really risen, and we looked at one another and said, "This isn't fun at all." And then we knew that we had to move out of the condo and find somewhere to stay.
Then the second one happened the day after we arrived back in Chiang Mai. We arrived Chiang Mai 5 p.m. We quickly drop our bags and go to a supermarket to stock up 1 week worth of vegetables and meat, so I know I'm safe. However, we did not anticipate electric shutdown. So the condo would not be affected if there were no electricity shutdown. I could still stay out for 1 week until the water subsided. The flood waters risen so high that it flooded our lift lobby. Never before this bad. And because it flooded the lift lobby, it went into the lift. So because of that, they had to switch off the electricity. Initially, it was supposed to be temporary, but I think it got so bad they had to just shut it down. So when the condo management told us, say, okay, we're going to shut down the electricity to shut the lift, and then we'll shut off the water pump. But then when they shut off the water pump and with no electric, then that put me into a little bit of a panic mode because my phone then was only 38% battery, and I had no power to charge up. And it was like, if that goes down, we don't have any communications.
Yukwah rang through, and the people that were running the rescue mission with boats and heavy trucks said, "Okay, we have your condo registered, we will pick you up," but there was no time frame. So this is early Friday morning. Saturday morning, the place was totally flooded.
Because our balcony overlooks the guardhouse, that means the soil, so we could see in and out. We could see boats coming up and down the Chang Klang Road, but nothing came in to our soil. So the whole afternoon I was keeping a lookout on the balcony, and then we received a text from the management to say they don't seem to be able to get any boats to come in. Maybe for now have another night of no electricity, and then the next morning when it's brighter, it's easier. So we were like, okay, I'm really tired. I went to sleep. I fell into a deep sleep. I was woken suddenly by Neil to say, "There's a boat, there's a boat." That was about 7:38 p.m. It was dark outside, but there were street lights. And then I saw 2 rescue boats with motors full of people, meaning they have loaded people on already, and they are going out. So I shouted from my balcony, I'm on the 3rd floor, you can hear my voice. I said, "Are you coming back? Are you coming back?" Nobody answered, not even the people on the boat. So I just keep shouting the words like to let you know, be aware that somebody is still in the building. So then anyway, I told Neil to keep a lookout while I informed the other neighbors. And then I said, okay, you all stand by, anytime we see a boat coming in, please come down. And the stairwell is all dark, you need to have a torchlight to come down. And then as I was informing the neighbors, Neil shouted, a boat came in. So then I told the neighbors I'm in contact with, there were, including us, 8 of us, and said, okay, please come down now, a boat has just passed into our soil. So we came down, the lift lobby was flooded up to the 2nd steps of the staircase. and it was knee high. When we went up to the gate, it was mid-thigh high.
Water hadn't reached our condo in the morning, but it really did reach in the afternoon and was high enough, about waist height, for a boat to pick us up and take us out.
And then after that, he started gibbering in Thai. I don't understand. He managed to get somebody on the line, and the person can speak English, and told us, you need to pay 500 baht to get out. So I asked my neighbors, everybody okay with 500 baht? And everybody, yeah, you know. He said he can take 4. So then 2 neighbors and us went on board first, and then the boat said he will come back for the rest of the 4. Instead of turning left, he turned right to Shangri-La side, which is even deeper because it's even lower the land. I was like, I'm not going to Shangri-La. A little bit of panic kicked in. Apparently, the passenger that they picked up first is going to Shangri-La. After this lady went off, another lady from Shangri-La stepped into the boat. So when the lady boarded from Shangri-La, right, she's a Thai, and then had a conversation with the boatman, and then she turned to the 4 of us who are foreigners to say, you understand little English? And we go, yes. And he said, the boatman say now is 700. I stared at her in disbelief. But we are captive audience, right? We have no choice. I was like, okay. But in my house, like, what's happening, you know? And then when we alighted, of course, we pay the 700 per person. That means suddenly it jacked up by 200. And I realized that the last lady who bought didn't pay. So probably her fare was top up into ours. Yeah.
But for 700
Yes.
baht,
Yes.
it was
You
worth
were
it.
just-
Even if they said 2,000 baht,
Yeah.
would have paid it.
Yeah, we just needed to get out. Yeah. And we really couldn't stay in because no electricity, eventually your mobile devices is going to fail because no power. And that's even worse if you are in a real emergency, you can't connect to anybody at all. Yeah, so that was our pushing point that we need to get out. And we went to the drop-off point. Drop-off point is actually just around the corner after Panti at Sedon Chai Road. And then when we get off the boat, it's just ankle deep. But you could feel the current swirling because the nearby canal overflow. The emergency officers tell us, you wait here, there'll be a truck to bring you out. And then a big 20-tonner truck, like an army, I think it's an army truck, came and picked us up. And then we all piled in until it's max full. And I felt like I'm going to a concentration camp. That feeling, came on. But anyway, the truck driver drove very, very slowly, maybe 5 km per whatever. And then he drove right to the end of Sedon Chai Street at the corner of the old town. We got off. The unreal situation was, on the right I saw the floodwaters, on the left is dry land. It's just so surreal.
What was the feeling when y'all were on the dry land? How do y'all feel?
At that time, it's so unreal. It's like, how could this be? A sense of disbelief. It's only when I lie down in the bed after a good shower, I realized I have left the danger zone, and I finally could sleep. It dawned on me, it's like, that was scary. Yeah, that was scary. The anxiety arise was we don't know when the rescue boat will come in for us. And there's no way we could contact. And I even checked the Grab app, if they have a Grab boat. Don't have.
There was no real communication between rescue and the people that needed to be rescued.
Yes.
You just had to keep looking.
Yeah.
And all for the last 4 days, we hear about the flood, we see the water, we see the dirty brown water, and then you get off into a dry area and you think, what's going on? Everywhere else is flooded, but 2 kilometres, 3 kilometres down the road, it's totally dry.
That was the old
real
city.
change, yeah.
Totally dry. The moat is normal level. It's not even full to the brim kind of level.
What we thought the moat should be like was not even what it was
Close.
really like. It was really low. It was just, unbelievable that
Yeah.
that area was not touched.
It was like there's no rain even. The floor was dry. And then we took the tuk-tuk to Mayor. Mayor, the people were partying, like having fun, having their drinks, their dinner, and then you could see like they're enjoying themselves, oblivious to what just happened in the flood area. So unreal. But the push factor for us was basically, what if our phone went dead? Then I may have a balcony overlooking the guardhouse, but if nobody comes in and out, there's no way I can get help. So that was like, we really need to get out. Most of the shops along Chang Krang Street is on higher ground, meaning this is the road, they will have a curb, and then they will still have 3 to 4 steps before reaching the shop. So you would think they are pretty safe from the flood at least, right? But it went right up to the handrail or to the shop level and flooded the shops.
Yeah. They were prepared in one way, and they thought about the past. Okay, we just put 1 row of sandbags.
Some had more, like maybe 3-4 rows. And then the shop just across our condo was eatery, right? He was a little more prepared. He had sandbags outside, and then he had something to block and some more sandbags. So he come in and out, he has to climb a chair to get out. So he was better prepared. It did not flood his shop. But however, his bike was parked outside. In the end, he had to raise his bike up by propping the bike onto, there happened to be a ledge outside his shop, onto the ledge, and then use a chair to support the back wheels so that it didn't get into the motor.
How many days have it since the flood?
I think it resided, the flood started on Friday, so we didn't have power at 11 p.m. Friday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday or so we heard that the flood have resided. However, Shangri-La is still having some flood waters. So we were like, no, we're not going back, because in case it rain again, it might just rise and come back up our soil, right? So on Tuesday, we ventured to go back and also empty our fridge. Our food has spoiled. And then when we step into the lobby, you can see the water mark that where the water have risen to. And then they told us that they need to empty the water tank, have the pump check and everything, clean the water tank. And then after it's done, they have to wait for the government to send the pipe water in before they can tell us that there's water. And then after the flood, when we actually went back to clear out our fridge, we saw a lot of devastation on the streets. There were cakes of mud on the street. And then you see a lot of shop owners just scraping off the mud off their floor. And then a lot of people had furniture damage. And then there were piles and piles and piles of rubbish on the street. So high, it's like half a story.
The aftermath is just unbelievable. You just see rows, stacks, motorbike parts, food, boxes, just rubbish everywhere.
It's an experience once in a lifetime, and the locals and my landlord said that they've never seen the flood this bad before. Never ever. Even the 2011 flood was not as bad. And then I asked my landlord, is it every rainy season will flood? She said, no. She said in the 13 years she has lived in Chiang Mai, it flooded only 4 times. This is the 5th one. And this is the most severe one.
And the other thing you've got to look at, this is a once of a lifetime thing. It doesn't happen every year. Yes, there might be minor flooding, but it shouldn't spoil your brain if you want to come, because it's still a great city. The Thai people are still very loving and helpful, even though they're going through more stress than what we did, right? Yeah. They've lost everything, and they help one another, which maybe doesn't happen in the Western world when there's a crisis.
What is heartwarming in this disaster is that people helping each other.
That's the biggest thing.
Whether it's Thais or not, there were reports on on Facebook to say monk organized elephants to send food and water to people who were trapped in their houses. They couldn't come, and then they live in like 2-story houses, so they were hiding in the 2nd story. Yeah, so there's a lot of resilience among the Thai people especially. And people willing to help each other, whatever your race, language, or religion. So that is the very heartwarming part that came out from the whole disaster.
For the people who say, I want to come to Chiang Mai to live, but I'm changing my mind, what advice do you have for them?
We will still stay in Chiang Mai. We will still stay in our condo.
We're happy living in a condo. And we don't mind going back to where we were because it suits our way of life.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have no qualms about going back there and living there the way we were living before.
Yeah.
But we're safe and sound, so that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank God for
looking
protection.
after us.
Thank God for beautiful friends in the Lord.
Right.
Yeah.
But I would say to anybody, come. You know, it's a lifetime experience, but that's the way the world works.
And I could tick off my bucket list, I've survived a flood.
That was scary to me, but this couple have no qualms to continue to stay there. A big kudos to them. In the next session, I would like to cover the rescue work and the aftermath cleaning up of this flood. God willing, I hope to get some more first-hand recounts of things happening on ground zero. The heartwarming help of people stepping forward when they see the urgent need. Till then, this is Kyle. See you next session. Jagan says Chana. I am glad you watched till the end. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. It will help me tailor my future videos better. Do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. It is called Singaporean in CM. Have a nice day.